Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, so let's get into a love tarot story. And I specifically do want to ask what's going on with them, whoever they may be. We're going to reserve that deck for maybe universe guidance at the end, but let's go ahead and start here and we shall see what we've got. All right, so we start out with a page of pentacles. What's going on with them, whoever they may be? Hey, AC, Robin, so great to see you guys. We've got the page of pentacles, which is I have something to say. I'd like to talk. I'd like to talk. Now, this is lighthearted. This isn't like super duper intense. Six of Pentacles in the reverse, Nine of Wands in the reverse. It almost feels more like, just chit chat, just uh, even immature, even funny, fun little chatties back and forth. Nothing too heavy, nothing too intense. This isn't like, oh my God, we need to sit down and have this heart to heart. We need to talk about our relationship. We need to turn this into something really serious. I want to divulge what I've been working on, where my pains are, what I've overcome. None of that. This is lighthearted. So that could mean that this would be a brand new relationship. Let's actually first set the context of this. What kind of a love style relationship would this be? We've got a high priestess kind of at a tilted sideways angle, which is like two people that are, kind of like aware of each other's presence, especially since they decided to put, like Libra scales, but the base of the scales is a quartz crystal. So it's like we're on kind of the same frequency, a little bit of the same wavelength, not entirely, but, I kind of think you're one of my kind. I'm aware of you. You're aware of me. Seven of Cups sideways. I don't know yet who you are to me. I don't know what could happen yet. This is not one of those, oh my God, love at first sight. This is also not a story where it's like two people have already been together and, time has passed and now they're going to talk. This is all fresh, new. This is like, I don't know what to think of this. I don't know what we could be to each other. But I'm aware of your presence. Hermit. It could even be that these two haven't really spoken much, maybe at all, but they've been energetically aware of each other. And it's like, it's a matter of time. Look, I think anyway, that you can walk into a space and you recognize somebody's energy field. And you might, let's say, we'll throw out an example. Let's say somebody goes into the same coffee house at approximately the same time every day, and it's like two people can tell that, like, oh, that's an attractive face. I can tell they noticed me too, even though we never spoke. Maybe we stand in the same coffee line, but there are two people in front of me one day, I'm three people in front of them the next day. But maybe we've gotten to the point where we give each other a nod, haven't spoken yet. But now it's kind of like, this little buzz in the back of my mind. I wonder if the hot guy with the white beard is going to be in the coffee lineup today. At some point, even though they haven't spoken yet, they're definitely aware of each other's presence. The energy, especially with that quartz crystal, like, I know your energy is there because I can feel the crackle of your life force energy. But every story has to begin somewhere. So this storyline says we have a character who's maybe ready to talk. Now, they could be a Virgo. They could be somebody who tends to kind of like isolate themselves a bit. Not because they don't have a lot to say, but maybe they haven't wanted to say a whole lot to anybody in a while. So this could be a huge step forward for them, that they've identified possibly a feminine. She may wear her hair in a ponytail or pulled back. She may have a lot of hair, gorgeous, natural, wavy hair, and she may just pull it back kind of simple, or I don't know. It's just something where, what I see is that she's very unafraid to just show her real face, just kind of like, I feel like this is a very straightforward version of a feminine in this storyline. And we may have a slightly more mysterious masculine, not because they're trying to be mysterious, but they may be somebody who tends to like have kept their own counsel. Now, they don't want to sit around and chit chat with her about like, deep dark secrets, or, I don't think that they have like a sob story. And forgive me for saying it that way, because we all have a story and we all have been hurt. So I don't want to say, oh, your sob story. It sounds so belittling. I don't mean it that way, but I'm just saying It's not like they want to talk about like what made me become a hermit or anything like that, because I don't think that they're unhappy. This says they're not wounded. This says they don't have any tales of sorrow, but they certainly probably have been isolated for a period of time because they chose to be. They would like to talk to her though. Lighthearted, kind of like I don't know, I just think it'd be nice to talk to her. Okay, so what's your motive? You want to talk to her. What's your motive in wanting to talk to her? Hi everybody, so great to see you all. Knight of Wands. Okay, this could be good, this could be not so good. It all depends. Why do they want to talk to her? What's the most common like denominator for any species, right? Maybe it's because I'd like to practice for some procreation. Doesn't mean we have to make baby bunnies, but let's just say, because this is passion, this is, I'm attracted to her, plain and simple. I'm just attracted to her. I mean, even birds have their mating dance, right? Very elaborate. You know, they've got their little, you know, like, sorry, that was not a very good mating dance that I just did, but I feel like he would like to chit chat with her. He's despite being like a hermit, this doesn't mean that he's oh so deep and profound. And it's like, I want to, you know, connect at the soul level. He's like, oh, she's really beautiful. She's really hot. I'd love to flirt with her. I'd love to talk lightheartedly. I'd love to get my flirt on with her. I don't think he does that with just anybody, but it does look like his first like instinctual baseline drive is she's real pretty. Eight of Cups, he does not expect that she's necessarily going to flirt with him though. That's kind of funny. He's like, I doubt that I'll be very good at this. Maybe he does pretty bad little mating dance, bird flaps. I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's not that good at flirting. Well, he'd be wrong, because she may be quite interested in him with the secret library here, with her sitting here on this stack of books and a page of swords. She may be quite intrigued by him. He fully expects, if I try to talk to her, maybe he thinks he's got an offbeat sense of humor. Maybe he thinks he's not, you know, somebody who's very good at the art of whatever we want to say. It's not just the art of like flirtation, but like maybe he believes that his mating dance is never very effective, but he's drawn to her. And I would argue he maybe is not everyone's cup of tea. A hermit is intelligent. They spend some time. He could have a real dry sense of humor, super intelligent. Like, honestly, to me, that's probably way more fun. She's obviously intrigued because he may not say things that other people would typically say. Could be interesting humor, funny humor. I doubt he's going to be super suave, but he may have a whole different version of suave. Somebody who's like dry, hilarious, very sexy, and it might just work on her just right. If she likes interesting, if she likes somebody who's a little bit more, you know, it can be so, look, old pickup lines can be funny, right? They can be like, hey, I, you know, lost my phone number, can I borrow yours? You know, and it's cheesy and it's kind of ha-ha funny. Or there's the people that are really suave and you still kind of know this is like a routine. That can be a really big turnoff to have people that are too skilled. And you're like, God, you practice this with a lot of people, huh? And you're real damn good at it. And it's hot. It's, you know, it is, but it might also feel like a polished routine. And then there's people that might have their own unique, like, I'm interested, but I'm cut from a different cloth. I have my own little tempo here of the way I talk to people. And I think that that's just right for her. His overture, I think, will be very interesting and intriguing to her. That's pretty awesome to see a different type of intrigue. Ace of Swords, there's more truth to this also. He and she may be able to be much more blunt. These two could be like the anti-flirters. They could literally say the exact opposite. I'd ask you out, but I'm sure that you wouldn't want to. As you can see, my face was not the victim of beauty. You know, like, you know, they could have just kind of quirky anti-dating sentiments, or, you know, like it just feels like they're going to be funny and kind of curious in the way they talk to each other, but blunt. Like that's kind of laying bare, like, you probably don't think I'm hot, but let me say it in this really kind of twisted, unique, funny way. I'm not saying that was particularly unique or funny. It's just off the top of my head. That's the best I could come up with. So forgive me for failing epically there. But I'm thinking that the two of them could have some fun and actually feel like I'm talking to the real person. They're saying things that they really mean. So it's less of a mating dance flirtation and more of like real straightforward, but maybe a little off tempo. That's way more interesting. That's way more fun. We have the devil. I don't know if he's pretty like already aware he could become quite attached to her, or quite like, I don't know if he's that drawn to so many people. This could be like, especially if she's intrigued by him, he could be way more like acknowledging in his own mind, like, I don't come out of hermit's mode for very many people. And damn, this one could break my heart. I could get really attached to her because she's laughing at my quirkiness, or she's, and I'm already super attracted to her. And not many people are intrigued by me. Most people are repelled by me. I don't know why he thinks that about himself, but that is the vibe of this story. This is somebody who's not used to getting like a good, maybe like reaction, but I don't know. I almost feel like both of these people could be really hooked on each other pretty easily. And it's such a different flow. Like this story is like, these are two very unique individuals, probably pretty intelligent individuals is what it says to me. We have got the Six of Cups in the reverse though. Probably, I don't go the sabotaging, don't do it. Probably they're not a soulmate. Probably they're not somebody who would want to be around me for very long. Probably. Do not start to go into self-imposed hermitude again. The Star sideways. Okay, here's the big danger. If he's going to try to talk to her all lighthearted, they're going to say some funny things. They might start, the interest. When she gets interested in him, he may have a toxic tendency to be like, oh, somebody's interested in me. I should probably exit stage left before she gets too disappointed. And that in turn could be a big fat insult to her. Wait a second, you came toward me. You acted like I was, somebody you wanted to talk to. Maybe it's kind of unusual for you to go talk to somebody. You kind of made me feel special. And then what? You lost interest in me. This race to let go before somebody lets go of us is an epic mistake, and a hermit should know better. Sorry, but hermit, what you been thinking about on that mountaintop if you haven't been figuring this stuff out? You can't be so self-depreciating and then inadvertently hurt somebody else who you made an overture toward. Hang on. Sorry, I got to get mouthy in these. Seven of Wands in the reverse. It says no justice here. And he may think erroneously that like, yeah, but I don't want to try to hold on to somebody, Yeah, but you made overtures. You're walking up to her because you're attracted to her. You're trying to start something. Then if she shows interest in you in return, then you go, well, I should let her go. Well, I don't want to, create any problems if now she knows she can talk to me if she wants to. No, you need to put in some effort. Sorry. I'm the mean big sister to this hermit who's going to be like, excuse me, brother, go talk to her. What do you mean you got her number and then you didn't call her? You wanted to talk to her, right? Yeah. Well, then go call her. We got the Knight of Swords. My mean big sister routine work. They're like, damn, jeez, Kate's mean. With that Knight of Swords, they may suddenly just go ahead and reach out. It's just, we're seeing them waffle and waver and things are getting quirky and funky. We went from interesting, opening up a dialogue, being attracted, finding somebody we're kind of vibing with a little bit, stepping out on a little bit of a limb, and then running backwards and then running forward again. And although it is understandable because we have the, I think, very relatable awkwardness of trying to date or trying to build a bond with another human being and being very concerned that we'll be rejected because maybe we feel we're a little off kilter, offbeat. Well, newsflash, we're all a little offbeat. Who the hell says what's normal? Nobody's normal. We just have, you know, like kind of an accepted range of like human behaviors. But, you know, we all have our quirks. We all have, I mean, some people put cinnamon in their spaghetti and they think that's normal. That is not normal, but I have known people who do that. um, it's just kind of it's just kind of funny. Like we all got our own different quirks. King of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Okay, listen. Hermit, if you make an overture toward her, pull back, make her feel like maybe you're messing with her head, then come back in and now we're like, no, I do want to impulsively reach out. You know, mean big sister Kate told me I better, you know, like actually follow through a little bit more. But now I've already made her feel a little insulted. I might not get such a nice response from her all of a sudden because I seem to be messing with her mind. She may not appreciate that. That is probably true. So you have to be extra like, hey, I was nervous. I haven't dated in a long time. I kind of talked myself out of thinking you would want to talk to me. I mean, just own it. Just if you're going to act like a king, kings own their ish, right? Queens own their ish. That's what makes you kings and queens. You say, I'm sorry, I know I seemed inconsistent there at the beginning. I was kind of freaking out. It's been a long time since I talked to somebody. Honestly, couldn't believe you talked to me in return. So sorry, it took me a while to call you. Sorry, it looks inconsistent, but I'm trying not to freak out here. You know, like he's going to have to probably own it because you're going to possibly be a little bit pissed with him. The inconsistency. That's what we've got is the story of inconsistency when a connection is just so tenuous and it's barely beginning and we don't have a comfort zone yet and we're trying our best to get over the nerves, and especially for maybe an introvert or maybe somebody who's just been solo for a long time or maybe believes that they're, you know, they don't have such great luck with, you know, connecting with other people. It kind of feels like he was just stunned that she connected with him and wanted to get to know him better. And then it was like, well, that's not how this works. Usually they get disappointed with me. So I should probably, you know, if she wants to pursue me, I guess, but I think I'll pull back and let her decide what to do. Not because it's like I'm running away. She has to chase me and make me feel special, but more like does she know? Like I'm awkward. Like that's the way this comes across. In his head, he kind of was sabotaging something and kind of insulting her, but that was not the intention here at all. Look, if he can handle this a little differently, impulsively reach out, face the fact that she might be a little cold or icy at first, like, what the hell are you doing calling me now? You're so weird. You're so hot and cold. And he can have a chance to like own it a bit. That could really warm her back up. Because I think it's very, look, if people explain, I learned this when I was a waitress. That was my first job and people were so mean. And I was young. I was not equipped to deal with mean at that point. And they were hangry, right? You know, you get people that are angry and hungry. And what I learned pretty quickly is tell them what is happening and they are way less angry. Ignoring them, not cycling through if there's a delay in the kitchen, trying to just be like, I don't want to go over there. I know they're mad. Don't ever avoid it. Walk right into it and be like, I know this is taking forever. There's a huge backlog. A couple plates got dropped. They're remaking some stuff. Can I get you more rolls? Can I get you, you know, like commiserate, tell them how awful it is that they have to wait and that they're hungry. Man, I'd be so hungry right now if I was you. Own it, be on the same team with them, and they like you a hell of a lot more. And it's like, don't make the problem be you or the kitchen, but just life. Man, life gets in the way sometimes. We're going to get this fixed. And it worked for me. It also like made it so that I didn't have to own somebody else's like stuff. And I think it's very understandable when you tell somebody what's actually going on, they're a lot less mad at you. And I think that would possibly be what we see here is him diffusing the fact that she may be kind of righteously irritated or felt kind of insulted with that star card sideways. Like, I don't get what you're doing. You acted like you were interested. Then you kind of disappear on me. to give me a chance to flee. Well, that's insulting, but wait, you thought I wasn't that interested and I should have a right to flee? Okay, that's a whole different spin on it. Telling me what your thought process was takes away the sting. Now I know you weren't insulting me. In fact, now she might be a hell of a lot more warm toward him and be like, oh, he needs some reassurance. I was actually interested. I'm liking the way your brain works. There's a spark of interest. So how about if I want to flee, let's have a safe word that, and if you want to flee me, well, you can have a safe word too. But until then, let's assume we're interested in getting to know each other. Like, it feels like these two could really get to the point of, fine, we both worry that the other one isn't going to be that interested in us, then we'll have a safe word. And that means I'm out. I'm not interested anymore. But until we say the safe word, let's assume we're both interested. I gotta think they need that kind of parameter. That's what it seems like. They need the parameter that gives a little measure of like, oh, okay. Now I don't have to wonder because you didn't say the safe word yet. So you must still want to be here. You must still want to talk to me. You must still want to get to know me. Good for them. Yes, it does demand a combination of bravery and grace to be given, and learning how to get to know somebody that you don't know anything about. You don't know how they operate. You don't know their motives for stuff. But instead of assuming the worst, getting to know each other and factoring in that all of us humans, man, we got so many fears. And we got so many, we learn to have poor expectations sometimes of the way we assume people will handle us, or poor expectations of what we think our outcome could be, or poor expectations of others and the way we expect them to treat us. Neither one of these characters is trying to treat each other poorly. In fact, quite the reverse. So this could have been like totally crunched before it ever even gets off the ground. But thankfully, in this storyline, we're finding a way to circumvent that. And it is through like some patience and communication is key here, but giving each other some grace, and more than anything, remaining interested in knowing why'd you do what you did. I think understanding or asking or being curious, why did you not talk to me again? What made you assume I didn't want to talk to you? I don't understand. You asked me for my number, then you didn't call, now you randomly do. What made you not be consistent with me in the beginning? Was it lack of interest on your part? Or did you think I wasn't interested? There does have to be pretty much some blunt conversation. And I think these two are, honestly, that's their strength. They're quite gifted in weird conversations. So I think these two are going to be awesome with this. All right, I'm going to leave this one here, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's really great to see everybody. Lots of love to you all. I know this was way early in the day. I will be gone. Let's see. Yeah, I've got to get out of here. I will be back later on tonight. I will probably, if I can swing it on the other channel on Kate's Regretless Life, we may do a Libra bonus. I shouldn't make a direct promise though, because I don't know what time I'll get back, but I'll try. All right, you guys. So good to see you. Cecilia. I know. I wasn't raised with cinnamon and spaghetti, so to me it was like a mind bender, right? But again, who's to say what's normal and what's not? It all depends on what your palate is used to, right? And yes, if I can swing one, for sure. You guys are so sweet. Hey, Sandy. Patricia Bocator. AC, so wonderful to see you. Oh, yes, Sandy, you have that new grandbaby, huh? Your baby girl. That's so awesome. That is so great, honey. Is she 8 weeks old already? Oh, so she's probably smiling at you and everything already. Courtney Jade, so wonderful to see you. Cecilia, I agree. Pam Jam, right back to you, sweetheart. Renee Bugs. Yeah, I know, hon. I've noticed, Renee, that there's a lot of updates, I think. And so sometimes I've been struggling for the last couple days when I'll record a video. Oftentimes it doesn't process for many hours, and then I'm kind of stuck. And I'm like, oh man, this is the time that I set aside that I could, go live and do different videos, but now I can't until some stuff gets worked out. And yeah, I totally hear you. But hey, updates have to happen at some point, right? So we just roll with it. Hi, Dory, Sierra Clark, Mon, D. Rogers. Courtney Jade, I love it. I love Mr. Bean. Rowan Atkins is so great. Such a great comedian. All of his little sounds that he makes. Maria, hi, sweetheart. Hi, Stevette. Happy Sunday to you as well. Gabriela Ramondo, so wonderful to see you. San Juanita, you're cheering on your team. Awesome. I hope they win for you. AC, hey, Ann. So good to see you. I love all of the green also. I love the heart chakra. April Fresh, wonderful to catch you, hun. Black Butterfly 25. Kelly Jensen, Brown Eyed Girl. Lori MP. Hey, Delinda. Slave Princess, hi, beauty. Rhonda Walton, awesome to see you. Annie S, is such a pleasure. Thanks for hanging with me today. MP and Lori, and thank you guys, everybody. So nice to see you. Anisha Chetu, hi, hun. All right, you guys, I'll see you again later on. Oh my God, Courtney Jade. I don't even know I think when he changes clothes driving in his car is probably one of my favorite. That man is so flexible in Mr. Bean episodes. Happy Sunday, Gabriella. Thanks again, Sandy. I'm so glad you're having such a good time, or had such a good time seeing your daughter and your baby granddaughter. All right, you guys. Nisha Shatu, I'm so glad that you made it, though, in time for me to say hi to you. Courtney Jade, that's adorable. All right, you guys. I'll see you again later on. Bye.